Good morning, gang. Welcome to the PTO Nice Daily Show. It is Fitness Athlete Friday, the best day of the week. I'm Jeremy Travis here to talk all things CrossFit Games 2022. So for anyone who doesn't follow along in the CrossFit sphere, CrossFit competition, all that stuff, the CrossFit Games just ended on Sunday. This past Sunday, we crowned the fittest man, woman, and team on earth, as well as fittest masters individuals and fittest adaptive athletes too. So a lot of awesome things that happened in the past weekend, in case you missed it. Before we dive into the topic at hand, though, we're going to go into what we have coming up as far as the fitness athlete realm. We are traveling. We're going to be in a bunch of places over the next month or two. So let me kind of go through those first. This weekend, I'm actually heading out in a few hours here, catching a flight up to Canada, joining Joe Hanisco in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We're going to be at Ironstone Strength. So excited to have a nice big group there. I think over 30 clinicians are going to be all embarking into Ironstone Strength for an awesome weekend of fitness athlete goodness. So if you're going to be there, excited to see you. Say hi on the chat if you're going to be there. Next weekend, August 20th and 21st, we have two different courses. One is right here in my hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at CrossFit 414. Joe will be leading that one, and I'll be hanging out with him, and Kelly will be hanging out with him as well. So come see all three of us if you're interested in that. Next weekend as well in Westerville, Ohio, Mitch is going to be at CrossFit Polaris, which is the home of Christy Irma O'Connell. If you follow the CrossFit sphere, right? She's a games athlete. I think like 8 times games athlete, just a nice big name in the CrossFit world. So really cool to be able to take our course, take fitness athlete into a realm that one of the fittest athletes in the world hangs out at. That's it for August. In September, we're on the road again. Victor, New York at Victor CrossFit on September 17th and 18th with Zach Long, the barbell physio. That same weekend of the 17th and 18th in Rome, Georgia at CrossFit Rome. Mitch will be heading up a course there. And then the following week on the 24th and 25th of September, Mitch will be in Austin, Texas at CrossFit Chikaru. I feel like I should know how to say that, but unfortunately I do not. So make sure you check that out. If you've been looking to take the Fitness Athlete Live course, highly recommend it. Fantastic course where we dive deep into all the movements of the barbell, the squat, the deadlift, the press. We get on the bar, we do pull-ups, we do the power snatch, we do the power clean. We look at how to break down these movements, how to understand them, how to coach them, and dive really deep into more of the movement practice and not as much of the science as we do in the Essential Foundations course, which is also coming up here in the next few weeks. September 12th is the next online cohort of Essential Foundations. It's an 8-week online course where we dive into all the science behind the squat, behind the deadlift, loading progressions, recovery, loading across populations, right? So from the teen or youth athlete through adaptive athletes all the way up to the older adult or the master's athlete. We look at all that and also a little bit of a sneak peek into pregnancy postpartum, where you get obviously more information there with pregnancy postpartum athleticism, of course, but a little bit of everything is seen in the Essential Foundations course. Great introductory course for anyone who sees fitness athlete, barbell athletes, weightlifters, powerlifters, but isn't 100% confident in using the principles of strength and conditioning, loading, progressing, regressing, and even an introduction to like EMOM style programming, and getting a feel for what CrossFit is like and understanding a little bit more. And then lastly, I'll announce it, but unfortunately already sold out August 15th. So starting next week, the Fitness Athlete Advanced Concept course kicks off. The next opportunity, I think, is not until 2023. Don't take that as 100% true. I think that's right, though. So as you can see, right, we're still a week out, already sold out. I think it's been sold out for about 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks or so. So if you wanted to take advanced concepts, you're trying to get towards that fitness athlete certification, make sure you take advanced concepts and sign up early because that course does sell out. It's not, and it's only, I believe, 3 times a year. So a lot less available for you. So make sure you jump into that. Cool. So the topic at hand, right? This one is a fun one to talk about. This is an exciting one. We are talking about the CrossFit Games 2022. And this is a recap of kind of the weekend, about the entire thing. And for those who maybe are into fitness athlete, or maybe are like understand ice, and they know that we're fitness forward. They want to be like a fitness forward practitioner, but CrossFit's not your jam. You might not know a whole lot about the CrossFit Games. And so I'll start off by saying, like, CrossFit, right? Why is CrossFit such a big thing in fitness athlete, and why do we kind of come alongside it? And it's simply because CrossFit is doing so much to try and change the landscape of healthcare, right? When it was founded, when it was practiced in its infancy, and kind of, you could still say it still is, right? It's only been around really for probably less than 20 years. The premise of it was that we are going to take this fitness modality. We're going to use intensity. We're going to use barbells. We're going to use body weight movements. We're going to introduce different ways to do it. We're going to constantly vary it up. And even though exercise and fitness is what people come to the CrossFit gym for, our priority is going to be pushing that people understand that in order for good, for health, for fitness, for longevity, the foundation is going to be this nutrition thing, right? If you ever look at the pyramid for CrossFit, like, nutrition is the foundation. So CrossFit changed the landscape because they said, we're going to define fitness. We're going to say it's increased fitness across broad time and modal domains, right? So no matter what you're doing, how you're doing it, fast, slow, long, short, whatever it is, increased intensity, we're going to make sure that people are getting stronger. We're going to measure it. And not only that, we're going to prioritize, like, hey, you should also be eating nuts, seeds, fruit, lean meats, vegetables, some starches, like little no sugar, right? They defined all these things. They made these terms that, again, people still try and talk about it, but again, it's changing lives. And like, that's what CrossFit is, right? It is going to the gym. It's getting together with 10 or 15 friends who are there with you. It's getting after a grueling workout. It's high fives. It's fist bumps afterwards, right? You suffer together. And then after that, you go home and you're like, okay, I ate well, so I felt good. So I'm going to continue to eat well. I'm continue to exercise. I'm going to continue to come to this community. I'm going to change my life because of what CrossFit is and how it changed, how it feels. And that's what CrossFit is, right? In my mind, right? It's this community-based fitness program that delivers high intensity, that shows objective, measurable results, that encourages you to change all other parts of your life. What CrossFit is not the CrossFit Games, right? And I wanted to say that, like, with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, right? Because the CrossFit Games is the top of the top. It is the pinnacle. It is the fittest individuals in the world who started training with CrossFit, who discovered they loved it, who found out they were pretty good at it, who committed 2, 3, 4 hours a day to training, who then continue to train that way throughout the year, who have strength cycles, who have time to make food all day long, who sleep 9 to 10 hours a day, right? They are professional athletes working at the very top of their craft, who do some of the same movements and exercises that we do in the gym on day in and day out, right? The CrossFit Games is a 5-day event in Madison, Wisconsin. At least it's been there for the last 4.5 years, about 5 years, minus 1 year where I was back in California. And it is the 40 fittest men and women in the world, based off of a worldwide open competition of nearly 300,000 people who participate, right? There was over 100,000 men and 100,000 women who participated in something called the CrossFit Open, which then takes the top people in the world and puts them into like little regions, and the top people from those regions then can compete to get to the CrossFit Games. So this is the top, like, whatever, 1% of the people competing and practicing and training in CrossFit competing at this event. And that's what the CrossFit Games is, right? Workouts at the CrossFit Games, it's really cool. It's inspiring. Like, the reason we watch the CrossFit Games, the reason that so many people love it and want to be a part of it and want to watch it on YouTube and on Instagram Live, and like follow these athletes and have like a little bit of a cult following, is because it's inspiring. Day one, they got on a bicycle after doing 75 toes to bar, rode for 5 miles, came back, did 75 pull-ups, and rode for another 5 miles. Some of them did that in less than 30 minutes, right? There was a 15-minute cap on that workout, but they did it around 30 minutes, right? Imagine biking for 10 miles. Now, after doing 10 miles, or in the middle of doing 10 miles, also do 75 grip intensive, midline intensive, shoulder intensive movements. And if you've ever ridden for 10, 20 miles, you know your shoulders get tired just holding those handlebars. And these athletes did it all in one workout. And that was just the first part of day one. They did a lot, right? So these long, grueling workouts, 50 minutes in length. And then they were also doing really short duration, right? They did a workout that was a 4-minute cap. So in 4 minutes or less, they had to perform a 54-foot carry with either 485 or 665 pounds on their shoulders. Then they had to do 2 front squats at 215 or 315 pounds from the ground. So they had to clean that up to their shoulders, do their front squats, then move on to the deadlifts, where they did 3 deadlifts at 315 or 475 pounds, right? Respectively, women and men. Some of these individuals did it in less than 2 minutes, right? The same people that did a 45-minute workout with 75 toes to bar, a 5-mile bike, 75 pull-ups, and another 5-mile bike, 3 days later did over 475-pound deadlift, a 315-pound front squat, and carried over 600 pounds on their shoulders. They're breaking barriers, right? They're showing what the human body has the capacity to do. And it's not just these athletes, right? Or sorry, these individuals who are like whatever, 19 to 33 years old. It's not just them. They have masters divisions, right? They have divisions from 35 to 40, 40 to 45, 45 to 50, 50 to 55, 55 to 60, 60 to 65, and 65 and older. You had a 72-year-old woman competing this weekend, right? There was a video that went viral of her doing a legless rope climb the week before the CrossFit Games. Like, if that's not inspiring for you to see these individuals doing these phenomenal things that like I myself struggle with legless rope climbs. So granted, I don't train them very much, but like I see a 72-year-old woman doing that. I'm like, holy cow, like that's awesome. I should be able to do that. I should train to a point where I can do that. Right. And maybe that's not for everybody, but at the very least, it's something that we can use, right? It's 72-year-old. She's from somewhere in Europe. But nevertheless, right, we see something like that. And we as clinicians, if we're watching that, we're like, holy cow, this woman is 72 years old. This woman is 65. This man is 62. This individual, right, they have an adaptive division. This man is missing half of his arm. This woman has a form of cerebral palsy, so she's a neurological division, right? So she's limited there. Or extensive nerve damage to her foot and her leg, so she doesn't have use of that leg or foot. And they still compete at one of the highest levels. They have people cheering for them. They have fan clubs. It's amazing. And what it needs to show us, it needs to inspire us more than anything else. That if anything, we can be doing more. When we have someone come into our clinic and they're in their 60s or in their 50s or in their 70s, whatever it may be, and like they like, well, I'm old. I can't do that. I can't do that at all. You can say like, hold on, let me show you something really cool. Right? This woman right here, she's 67 years old. She's 2 years older than you, and she's doing this stuff, right? Am I saying that you should feel guilty? No, I'm not saying that. Am I saying that you should be doing exactly what she's doing? No, but I'm saying that the age, right? Your age or your situation should not stop you from continuing to push yourself and get a little bit stronger, a little bit fitter, move a little bit more, right? There's this methodology we can use where we can start in a really regressed fashion, really, really scale down, and week by week, month by month, progress you more and more and more to a point where you can do what you want to do on a day-to-day basis. And that's just older adults, right? Go to any patient population we have. When we have people who are saying like, well, I can't do that. Like I lifted weights my whole life. Now I can't do that anymore. Whatever the excuse is, right? It's like, hold on, let me show you what the human body is capable of, right? You don't need to be able to do a 665-pound yoke carry. You don't need to be able to front squat 315 pounds for 2 from the ground. You don't need to deadlift 500 pounds, right? That's what I'm saying you need to be able to do. But these individuals, right? The human body is an incredible creation, right? You can train it, you can stress it, you can make it work to a point where it can do phenomenal, like mind-boggling things. And that's what the CrossFit Games is to so many people. It's an inspiring feat of physical fitness, of human capacity, the likes of which like most of us have never seen. They can run a 5-minute mile. They can back squat 500 pounds, right? They can climb ropes with them with their hands. They can walk on their hands. They can do spins on their hands, walk upstairs, climb down a ramp, and do something else crazy with the jump rope and doing some other twirly stuff, right? They basically break the barriers to what we thought the human body was capable of. Thinking that you can do this, but you can't do that. Thinking that you can be a fast runner, but you can't be a heavy lifter. You can be a heavy lifter, but you can't be a fast runner. They're showing that there's so much more that the human body is capable of, that the only barrier that the human has is on what we place on it. So us as clinicians, right? I'm not saying we need to get our individuals doing what they're doing on TV or what they're doing at the games, but we need to use that as inspiration to say like, you know what? Maybe I'm limiting my patient because of a perceived notion of what the body's capable of or what they're capable of. And we need to take that out and maybe use something like this where we see people like lifting a 140-pound woman picked up a 240-pound sandbag, threw up on her shoulder, celebrated, threw it down, right? It was incredible. I got 4 men lifted a 340-pound awkward sandbag, right? I lifted bags of concrete, 80 pounds each. That sucked. I can't imagine, 4 times that, more than 4 times that on my shoulder in one instance. So awesome. Be inspired. If you want to check it out, if you don't know about the CrossFit Games, you want to see it, just go on YouTube. Every single event, every day is on YouTube. It's free to watch. You can check it out. You can fast forward different events, right? It's really cool stuff to see. It's a fantastic community. Highly recommend you check it out. If you missed any action, check it out, right? If you've got some time this weekend, hopefully you can look at it. That's all I got for you today, gang. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Just a quick conversation, right? Not super educational, but hopefully a little bit of inspiration for you all. And have a wonderful weekend. Again, I'm hopping on a flight here in the next couple hours. Hope to see you in Canada if you're there. If not, hope to see you on the road soon or online with Dental Foundations. Have a wonderful weekend, gang. Take care.